Good afternoon and greetings from Disha Eye Hospitals. Well, in uveitic cataracts, I think we need to understand that we are operating on an inflamed eye. So the norm that we follow is that we don't operate within 3 months of an acute attack, number one. And number two, there are some patients who keep on coming with uveitis over and over again without any interval quiet period. There we would give subtenon Kennicott injection before we actually go in for surgery. Well, what are the mechanisms that are available to us to enlarge a small pupil? Because we've got to take out the lens extracapsularly from which is behind the small pupil. One is merely synechialysis, and it is best done in closed chambers. Before we have done anything, we can do the synechialysis by making 2 side ports on either side. The second thing is some pupils will just open up on viscotamponade, and then is, as Dr. Ruchi Goel said, showed you on the video, is a stretch pupilloplasty by 2 Copeland hooks and we need to keep it for some time on in 2 different quadrants, and in most of the cases this gives an adequate exposure to the lens capsule for us to work. Multiple sphincterotomies or pupillotomies, we could also do this by making at least 4 cuts with a very micro 4 cuts in 4 quadrants, or we could even do 8. In fact, a stretch pupilloplasty also acts as a basically multiple sphincterotomies, because there is definitely tear of the sphincters where we actually work with. But perhaps the most comfortable way of doing things is to use the Irish hooks, and now these are indigenous, they are absolutely inexpensive, they can be sterilized and used over and over again. So I think, and I would strongly recommend, that whenever we come across things which we cannot see because the Irish has come down, we should use Irish hooks. The only tip is, if it happens during the operation, we have this SICS incision, so where do we actually go in, because we require a stab incision to go in. So you can do it in front of the corneal valves, and for that, there is another with a bigger curvature which are called capsular hooks, so they fit in well rather than the Irish hooks whose curvature is less. Now obviously when you have a small pupil, you are definitely limited to do the incision on the lens, the rhexis. So yes, if skill provides, we can definitely do a rhexis under the pupil. But one thing which is most important, before telling you all this, sometimes our first thing that we do is make an incision and inject viscoelastics. So, the moment you have given a viscoelastic, you cannot use any staining dye. And most of the uveitic cataracts would be mature, hypermature, calcific, or even for that matter, if they are not, it is a better proposition to stain the capsule, because you can actually see how much rhexis you have done. You can bring out the rhexis, and it's so much more helpful to stain the rhexis. So stain the rhexis first, capsule first, before proceeding to other things. Of course, I would show you a video on multiple relaxation given to a rhexis to take a big nucleus out, and an envelope capsulotomy also works fine, and so also we can practice the can-opener capsulotomy in extreme situations. Now this is a small uveitic pupil, and in this case you can well see that there are synechias at the pupillary margin, and merely removing these synechias and giving in a viscotamponate gives an adequate exposure to the surgeon to go ahead and perform his surgery. So most of the cases would perhaps behave like this. Had this capsule been stained, the surgeon would have been quite more confident to know how much exactly is he done the rhexis. Now, as I told you, the Irish hooks, the lower twos can be fit in there, but the upper two need to be fit anteriorly, because this of course is done before. So this is how, once we dilate, we can easily fix them. Please don't hesitate to use them. The other thing that I was saying, that in such situations we do end up with a small capsular rhexis. As you can see, this is a dilated pupil, but I'm just showing this video to demonstrate how it works actually. Suppose this is quite a hard cataract which is inside, and a big one too. Now if there is any capsular rhexis lens size disproportion, this is what we can do. The idea is, our general practice is that we make one or two small cuts somewhere. Please note that this nucleus is freely mobile. When we take in two copelands and dial this nucleus, it is freely mobile. So what's preventing this nucleus to come out is not because it has capsular adhesions or something like that. It's only that the rhexis size is small. And in uveitic cataracts, this is a situation which can very commonly happen. So, again, we are trying to flip off the rhexis towards this, and it doesn't work. So, the general tendency is to go in with a Vanna scissors and give one or two cuts, but a better still procedure is to just take your cystotomes and give multiple cuts, at least 8, 10, 12 cuts, and this actually spreads all the forces on the capsulozonular apparatus in different directions, and can actually help to deliver the nucleus very quickly and in a very good way. So that nucleus which was not coming out has just popped out of the bag. Can I take just 1 minute, Ruchi? And this is to show you the convenience of envelope capsulotomy, which can actually be practiced, because some of these uveitic cataracts would be very adherent to the underlying cortex. There will be calcifications. So, doing a rhexis would be extremely difficult. So, this is a dilated case, but I'm showing you the convenience of this kind of technique, especially in uveitic cataracts. It may not be possible, or it may be hazardous actually to do a rhexis without Irish hooks, without proper visualization. So this works perfectly fine. You go in with a keratome, 2 side cuts, and then again repeat 2 other side cuts, and the anterior capsule is still in. So after you have completed the cortical removal, you can see the anti-capsular flap there, which you can just tear off with a capsular access forceps, or the surgeon here does it with his cannula, bi-way cannula. So these are, and definitely in the post-operative period, do give atropine and some Nepafenec to prevent cystoid macular edema for a period of at least 2 to 3 months. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.